Here's a short clip from the Barber Shop.
Jim Barber here in the Barber Shop, BransonForYou.com 98.1, and I'm very excited to be here with my good friend Justin Abels. Justin is a professional actor. You'll see him at the Sight and Sound production of Jesus, performing right now. He's also working with us at the Branson Regional Arts Council in a variety of ways, and I'm going to let him talk about that. But Justin, good to have you on the show today, and welcome.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here. This is awesome, man. Very proud of you. Awesome radio show, and super excited that I've been working with the Branson Arts Council for I've known you for about 5 years now, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the main stage directors for us, which has been awesome to work and just see the Arts Council grow the last couple of years and just bring some wonderful main stage performances to Branson and ways of musical theater and Shakespeare and a whole bunch of other ways, which has been awesome.
Well, you bring a really professional level to the productions that we've been putting on. It's community theater, but yet when you get professionals like Justin involved, it brings the level of everybody up. The show that we're actually getting ready to open June 3rd is the Tennessee Williams classic play, The Glass Menagerie.
Glass Menagerie it's Tennessee Williams, and it's actually based on his life in a very light way. There's only 4 characters, and it's narrated by Tom, who works in a shoe warehouse. This is just pre-World War II in America, and actually takes place in St. Louis. And Tom's father left him his mother and his sister Laura years ago, and Tom has been supporting his family for quite a long time. His sister Laura has been crippled from a bout of pleurosis, so she's very sheltered. She's very outdoorsy. She doesn't go very many places. And his mother is actually from the South and still holds on to that very traditional cotillion lifestyle and is trying to marry her daughter off. So she persuades Tom throughout the play to bring home a gentleman caller that would hopefully marry Laura so everybody can escape. And it's very much a play about finding your way through life and finding what you long for in life, and very beautiful. It's what launched Tennessee Williams' career. It's what's made him famous, for almost the last 100 years, which is pretty incredible.
Tell me about some of the cast members.
You'll actually see a full cast of professional actors from the Branson area. So my lead actor who plays Tom, my good buddy Josh Bolden, and his wife Karis is actually in the show as well. They play brother and sister. Very interesting dynamic. So yes, so 3 of my actors are from Sight and Sound, and so yes, you'll come see a wonderful professional cast that's located just here in Branson, and it's been a really great ride so far. Incredible rehearsal process, and we're taking the show in just many different directions. Like, a lot of people know Glass Menagerie from the 1950s film, which is very, very popular, and we're still taking in that direction, but we're also looking at, because it is a memory play, because Tom narrates throughout the whole entire piece what the scenes are about, what is happening currently in the life of these people. So we're really, in the style of the play, looking how Tom remembers certain things. We play with how the set doesn't look very traditional like a 1940s apartment. It actually looks very dreamlike. The menagerie is a floating piece of furniture with the animals above it. There's a lot of stylized movement in it. So we're just looking at different perspectives of the play, but also at the same time keeping that nice, beautiful American classic feel to the play as well.
It's really going to be something different than the other productions that we've had down there. I should mention, for those who may not realize, the Branson Regional Arts Council has been bringing community theater productions here to the historic Owen Theater and the Branson area. They've carried on the tradition of Tri-Lakes Community Theater that started about 37 years ago. But in 2018, we started doing more and more productions. Last year, our entire season pretty much got moved to this year because of the pandemic. So this show was actually scheduled to occur last year, but we are finally here, and it really is going to be an amazing production. And there's only 4 performances of this show. Normally we'll do maybe 5 at the least, or 2 weeks of a show, depending on the schedule. But because these are professional actors, they have professional acting work. And so their schedule is not as available, but yet they still find time to come in and learn these classic plays. There's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of work. It is a ton of work, and it's a community effort, and they do it for our community to help provide these services. We just are amazed at the quality of talent that we get. Tickets are on sale right now, by the way, and if you'd like to, I know that our Sunday afternoon show is completely sold out, but we do have tickets available. The show dates are June 3rd, which is a Thursday at 7 o'clock. June 6th, which is Sunday, the 2 o'clock show was sold out, but we have a 7 o'clock show Sunday evening. And then on Monday, June 7th, we have a 7 o'clock show as well. And tickets are available. They're socially distanced tickets. So the row in front of you and behind you will be empty, and 2 seats on either side of you will be empty. So when we get about 50 to 60 people in the theater, it's considered sold out at that point. Now, come August, when we open our musical Mamma Mia, we hope to go back to full seating, and we can put a full audience of 200 people in there. But in the meantime, we're continuing to fulfill our mission of providing arts and entertainment community theater here in the Branson area. The Glass Menagerie is a wonderful production that you won't see anywhere else in Branson, for sure. I mean, we've got all kinds of fantastic entertainment, including the show that you're in at Sight and Sound Theater. Tell us about Jesus.
Jesus is a really phenomenal production, and it's been a real big blessing just to be a part of. So interesting just because I'm from the East Coast, and
I'll talk slow.
Yeah. As long as you also talk abrasive to me, that'll make me feel at home. So funny because the Pennsylvania Theater of Sight and Sound, that's where they premiere all of our shows. So that's where like we get to see like our friends over there perform for the first time, see the DVD of it. And I just remember watching the recording of it when it first premiered, and it was just an incredibly beautiful production. And I was like, that would be a wonderful thing to be a part of one day. And you see all like one of my best friends is in the production, plays John up there. And when he came here, it's just been so impactful so far, which has been really incredible. Just people just really coming to Christ in different ways and being impacted in different ways. And there's so many different characters throughout. The New Testament is hard to kind of compact into a 2-hour production. But the characters that are chosen that you see start following Christ, and there's different perspectives of how they're touched by him. It's been a really interesting way to see different people relate to different characters. And I play a priest. I play Malchus, who biblically he's mentioned that he gets his ear cut off by Peter after the arrest of Jesus in Gethsemane, and he's healed. Wow. And that's all that's really mentioned about him, but it's really interesting to see that perspective of someone who really pursues to get this man put away and is healed. It's been kind of great because we fleshed out more of that perspective, because I'm also at the cross and stuff at the end. I'm also saved at the end of finale now, which is really great. So it's been really great to see, and I talked to my parents about this when they visit, just so many different perspectives of Christ and how that relates to us today in the 21st century. Sometimes you look at biblical characters and you're like, you don't see that perspective well. But when you kind of watch that live on stage, you get that perspective in a very more personal way.
Right, and you're playing that role, so it's an emotional ride every performance.
Every single one.
How many shows a week are you doing right now?
I think 10.
Oh
I show up at work and we do the show. That's all I know.
You live a life of biblical proportions.
Exactly.
For sure. Well, I thank you for coming in. Justin Abels, the director of the Glass Menagerie, opening June 3rd at the Branson Regional Arts Council in the historic Owen Theater, downtown Branson, and we thank you for coming on. I know you've got a rehearsal to get off to right now, and we look forward to the production. Thank you for being here, and
Thank you, Jim.
I'm Jim Barber.
This is the Barber Shop with Jim Barber on BransonForYou.com and 98.1 FM.